Hey guys, welcome back to MMA Library. Today in MMA and UFC news, Kamaru Usman recently sat down to speak about his fight this weekend against Leon Edwards. Kamaru had this to say.
And I know you don't listen to people say on the internet, but the man you're fighting on Saturday was in here earlier, and he said compared to your last 4 or 5 opponents, he's by far the best striker, and he'd even put himself the top of the division as overall striking. So I'm curious where you rate him among your past opponents over the last few years.
I mean, I think he's, like I said, he's the next guy up, so he's the biggest, baddest dude. According to everybody, he's the biggest, baddest dude. And I think skill-wise, he's very, very, very good. But when Masvidal was up here, come on, we were singing this different tune. He's the most dangerous striker, he's never been finished, he's slick, he's nice, which he is. Very, very good striker. And, they were singing that tune. And then we all saw what Masvidal did to him over there in London, And, hey, it is what it is. If that makes him feel better, that's fine. Whether you're a striker, whether you're a wrestler, whether you're a grappler, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, I have one thing that they all don't have, and that is the ability to go out there and get the win.
Jose Aldo was recently asked in an interview whether or not he believes his fight against Masvidal this weekend at UFC 278 is a #1 contender match. Here's what Aldo had to say. Yes, surely, I actually think that I should fight for the title. I wanted to fight Aljo, but obviously he's going for Dillashaw, so I believe if I win this fight, I am actually the next one up for the belt. What do you think about Aldo's comments? If he gets through Valashvili this weekend, should he be considered the #1 contender? Let us know in the comments. Luke Rockhold recently joined Daniel Cormier and Ryan Clark to speak about his upcoming fight this weekend against Paulo Costa. Here's what Rockhold had to say.
I've been paying attention a little bit. I've been seeing him, but I can feel him breaking already. I can see in his eyes. No, I'm here to fight. I'm here to bring it. I'm going to challenge him right from the get-go. I'm not going to overforce it. I'm going to stay within myself. I'm going to do my thing. But you can see in his eyes. He doesn't really believe
he's breaking in his.
It's like when a man, as you get closer to a fight, you see another man's energy and how he feels about this fight, and I'm not questioning myself. I have no questions about myself going in this fight. And then the closer you get to that fight, the more those questions build into your opponent. And the less I question myself, the more I see him questioning himself.
Luke, when I think about you always being outspoken, you've talked about the fighter bonuses not growing as the UFC as an organization has grown. And I do feel like you haven't focused on making friends in the UFC. This fight seems personal to me. The way you talk about Paulo Costa, the way you talk about him breaking, how he's entering this fight. How do you separate that, though, once you get into the octagon and show the form that made you a champion throughout your career?
I think every fight is personal. Every fight is very personal. It's like you're going against another man. You're taking his dreams, his hopes, his will, and you're threatening his life.
Francis Ngannou recently backed up Luke Rockhold's comments he made at a recent UFC media day where he criticized his fighter pay. This inspired Ngannou to tweet multiple times criticizing the UFC sponsorship restrictions. Ngannou said, "Listening to Luke's interview was very pertinent. A lot of things that nobody is talking about, and the company just rolls with it." Then he followed up with, "Fighters are ripped off with sponsorship. It's a huge source of revenue for us, but the company keeps exploiting that for their own benefit." Francis continued, "I understand that the sport needs to look good with uniforms, but we should at least have a right for a minimum of 2 approved sponsors for in the octagon. Last year I lost a deal of over $1 million from a crypto exchange because the partnership with Crypto.com. What do I got from it?" Conor McGregor reflects on his fight against Max Holloway 9 years ago. He posted this to his Instagram account. "Wow, 9 years ago today, wow. Time sure does fly when you're and looking good. A significant fight for me in my career. It was my US debut, Boston, Massachusetts. I also tore my ACL in this bout and was forced to utilize my improvise, adapt, overcome philosophy in real time. A true sink or swim moment for me in my young career, but I did not and would not let my injury deter me. Not in the fight, not during recovery, not through the changes in my fighting style that came from this injury. I used my wit to improvise, my grit to adapt, and as humans, we are built to overcome. It was assert. I went on to win the fight and all my world titles thereafter. Do not let an injury define you. Good luck and God bless to all those soldiering on through pain." Jorge Masvidal recently stated that he would be down for a fight against Leon Edwards in the future. The two were scheduled to fight back at UFC 269, but the fight was canceled. Masvidal, however, doesn't believe that Edwards can get through Kamaru Usman this weekend. Here's what Masvidal had to say. "I don't see Leon Edwards winning, to tell you the truth. It's a fight, anything can happen. There's no 1000% winning for anybody in this sport. I don't care if you're undefeated, it's just a matter of time. I think Usman wins more times than Leon wins if they were to fight 5 times. I think Usman is a little more complex, and at the end of the day, just the wrestling, it will come down to the wrestling. On the feet, Leon's a bit more polished, maybe a little more variety with setups and attacks, but Usman's wrestling, I think he'll keep Leon honest to where he won't open as he would with a lot of guys. I see Usman winning. I think I'm naturally faster than him, I know I'm smarter than him, I have more power. We fought a lot of common opponents, and he couldn't do anything to them but give them a split decision. I put those same guys on stretchers. I do well with strikers, as everybody knows. It's like those wrestlers, those guys who have wrestled since they were 7 years old. They can take me out of my comfort zone, put me on my back, and not allow me to use all my tools where I have some problems. Leon's not that guy. He doesn't have that next level wrestling or endurance. I know he takes a lot of guys down. By the caliber of takedowns and the opponents that he does it to, it's not me. So I don't see his grappling as being a problem for me. The striking, I welcome it. Let's find out. Let's go." What do you think about Masvidal's comments? Do you think him and Edwards face off in the near future? Let us know down below. At the press conference for UFC 278 this weekend, things between Paulo Costa and Luke Rockhold were heating up. Here's the clip.
You believe you have the grappling advantage in this fight?
I'll treat Paulo like a if he gets to the ground. It'll be over.
This guy is too old to say this kind of. Come on, man. Come on. Look.
You're the one who's wearing glasses. Can you see? You've been doing cosmetics this whole thing. I was surprised you looking the same. I thought you'd be
You are
Caitlyn
too
Jenner.
old to see this kind of. Man.
Hey.
People want to.
You didn't want to take the fight in the first place. The UFC forced it down his throat. Then they delayed it twice. Month after month, and all the cosmetic you got done, you little shut up.
Are you surprised that Luke is bringing this energy to you today?
Energy? No. The energy.
He doesn't even know what energy means. The girlfriend is doing every thought process for him. He doesn't know.
The energy doesn't matter on the day of the fight. You know, he can say this. I think don't fit on a older man like he is, but the energy.
Did your girlfriend tell you that?
The energy doesn't matter on the day of the fight. You know, we will be closer on the same cage, me and him, just me and him, and we will see who has more energy, who has more powerful, who has more, more will to win this fight.
Usman and Leon Edwards go back and forth at the recent UFC 278 press conference.
Lately, it seems to be a little disrespect coming from his side. Maybe he's thirsty for wanting to be champion so much that he's got to get disrespectful. But it is what it is. He's a tough striker. But, Masvidal went back there and put his hands on him. And like I said, him and Mendem, they did nothing.
Leon, for you kind of hear him saying that there's a little bit of disrespect. Obviously, this is a huge fight for you. It's a title fight. It's a rematch of the last guy that beat you. Is this getting personal in any way for you?
It's not personal for me. All it is I believe I'm number one, and I'm going out there to prove it. He's clearly getting to his head. He's just about now closing his t-shirt up and wearing a t-shirt and closing his top up, but it's all good. Like I said.
Listen, if you look like me, you would dress like this too.
Bro, you look like Terry Crews, bro.
Leon, tell the people what you drive back home. What kind of car you drive?
I don't look like you.
What kind of car you drive?
You know what I drive.
What?
You know what I drive.
No, what kind of car you drive? Tell the people.
Mercedes GLE. What do you drive?
What? So it's getting to your head too, right?
They get to my head.
Why? Listen. This is what it is. It's just envy. It's just envy. Listen, you like nice things, I like nice things. And like I said, if you look like me, you would dress like me too.
I've always said fair play to you for trying what you're trying, but the fame is definitely getting to your head, and I'm humbly asking on Saturday night.
Guys, thanks so much for checking out the video. If you like the content we do here on this channel, don't forget to like and subscribe to MMA Library for all the latest MMA and UFC news. We'll see you in the next video.